Iron Family. That is the new documentary that we are looking at today. It is written, directed by Patrick Longstreth. He also produces with his wife, Anne Longstreth, Sharon J. Wissia, and Chad Farias. We've got Christine Fink and Romario Rodriguez Zamaripa on our score and the music. Anna Patrick, along with Christopher Reiber, handled the cinematography. Patrick also edits the piece, right? We have then got, what else do we have? Okay, then it is our cast, right? So the film follows Jazmine Faries, her brother Chad Farias, right? Her mum, Kate German, her kind of stepdad, Greg Banks. There's Holly Harvey, as well as Patrick Longstreth and Anne Longstreth. So, there's other family and other people, but that's the main group that we have, right? So the gist. Jazmine Faries is a 32-year-old woman with Down syndrome who is obsessed with soap operas, Barbie dolls, and Matthew McConaughey. For the past 5 summers, her family has performed her original stage plays for a small audience in their town of Iron River in Michigan's Upper Peninsula. In this 6th season, we follow the creative process of writing, rehearsing, and performing the play. Family bonds between her brother Chad and her mother Kate are strengthened and put to the test by the mishaps and chaos of coordinating a production with limited resources. Along the way, we see Jazmine's personal struggle for independence, her yearning for a romantic partner, and how a single spark of creativity can spread joy throughout a community. Right? So, yes, that is Iron Family. And this is a really interesting documentary. Really, well done. It's that fly on the wall style. And I think that works perfectly with something like this, because we're just following, Jazmine and her family, right? And just everything. We aren't shying away from anything here. And I think what is very fascinating, because Jazmine obviously is the focal point of this, but we also do follow Chad and her mum. So we get all of these different insights from everyone, and the candidness, right, it is very palpable. Chad talks about like his issues with alcohol and drugs, right, growing up, right, with to such a young mum. Whereas Kate was, I think, in university when she, got pregnant. And so we hear all about this, right? Here he opens on his thoughts of when he heard his mum was pregnant, right? But then how the birth of Jazmine really impacted his life and made him want to change. So there's all of this, right? We follow Greg a little, right? Who was Kate's partner for a good number of years, right? But he wasn't the father of Chad or Jazmine, but, right, he paid child support. You know what I mean? Not his kids. Still loved them and took care of them, which, you don't always see, right? So all of these just really nice elements are there, and how Jazmine is just hungry for, the limelight, right? She loves it. But it's interesting to see the different things that kind of shape her, right? Because she's got this dream to be a film star, and she's talking about it, and to get married to Matthew McConaughey. But then in one conversation, right, she's asked, I think it was on a podcast or radio show, like, what's her goals? And then out of nowhere, she says, open up a cupcake store. Right? And her brother's like, what? Like, that's the first I heard about this. And she shows us this building, and she's just like, yes, the cupcake store is going to be on this side and on this side. I think it was, oh gosh, I think massages or something, right? It's something to do with health, which was that kind of interesting one of like, okay, so you're doing all of this for your health, and then you're just gonna go yam down some cupcakes, right? But yeah, it is this just undeniable warmth, right, that comes from this infectiousness of the joy that Jazmine always seems to have. Now, obviously, there are some cranky days. There are some like moments where she's just a little biting, right? But that's human. That's what it is. You know what I mean? Um, the stories, right? She's got all of these stories, and you can see as I said, the things that influence her, right? But she loves soap operas and everything like that. So when she's going like acting out this one scene with her Barbie dolls, and it's getting a little, you know what I mean? Little R-rated, right? It's just hilarious. It's just so funny, But you can see the soaps influence on that, right? And she's writing about all of these things. But I think sometimes with these things, right, you can have people and they're just like, oh, yes, this is great. This is amazing. This is blah, blah, blah. But we do get pushback, right? Where Greg is going over the script with her. And it's this bit, I think it was the bit where she admits to Matthew McConaughey that she cheated on him, and the baby is someone else's, right? And the way it was written at first was a bit like, yeah, it's your fault I cheated on you, kind of thing. And Matthew is just like, I apologize, you know what I mean? And Greg's just like, do you really think that would happen in that way? Kind of feel like, and he breaks it down to her, like, how did you feel when this happened to you? And she's like, oh, I didn't. And then oh, yes, let me check. And so we get that, which is a nice little moment to see too, right? But just watching the community, right, around Jazmine and the family, and how, like you have all these people wanting to come to the play, right, showing up at the parade that they have, giving their support and love and just all of this stuff. It's just, Oh, it's a nice thing, man. Like with all the craziness going on in the world, sometimes it's just nice to put something on and being like, well, that warmed my soul. You know what I mean? And that's it. It's won awards all over the place. You know, I think it picked up audience award at Slam Dance, and I think it might have got something at Dances with Films, right? So it's just it's been doing its thing on the festival circuit, and it's you can see the love and the thought that has gone into this. You know, it's not shying away from things. It's really just letting Jazmine and her family just pour all of this stuff out, but not being exploitative, right? Not being just like this saccharine thing. It is honest. You get that sense. You know what I mean? You get that rawness. Because there's things they talk about they do not need to. Right? I mean, especially there's Jazmine is funny because she's got the crush on Matthew McConaughey, but there's also a guy called Is it Billy Balloons? It's just when she's like, Billy Balloons. And so I was like, yes, I was like, I'm not sure that's his surname. She's like, yes, it is. Yeah, that's his name, Billy Balloons. And when all of this rolls out, right? Like we find all out about Billy and that situation. It is, that one's interesting. So it's just like, it didn't need to be there, right? It's that honesty to show, right? Yeah, look, we don't do everything right. There are mistakes, you know what I mean? But yeah, like sometimes the heart be how the heart be, you know what I mean? But I did thoroughly enjoy this. I really did. You know, the way it's looking at everyone, right? But still having Jazmine, you know what I mean, front and center. The way it's just talking on all the different things, you know, her Down syndrome and everything. It's not just, oh, poor little me. Like, it's not one of those, right? She's just looking to do all of these things, right? She's got all of these aspirations. You know, she wants to be a movie star, right? She wants to do cupcakes. She wants to do all manner of stuff, right? She wants love. It's just all there for you to see, right? Chad and he struggles, he search for love, right? It's just all there. Kate and her health issues, it's all there. At one point, I did wonder if Kate did mash the heart up, right? Because she was mad vexed about the whole parade thing. You do kind of go, yeah, it's kind of on you, Kate. Bring your motherfucking phone out, you know what I mean? But hey, that's the beauty of this, man, because you know we're not shying away from anything. So hey, if man, like I would say, like if there's those moments when you're just feeling like you need something to brighten your day, right? I Am Family would be that perfect little pick me up, right? You want something to watch something warm, something inspiring, something heartfelt, something honest and raw. I Am Family would be that thing. There was a couple of documentaries that we looked at a little while back, people, that I think, you know what I mean, if you enjoyed those, you would definitely enjoy this. There was Sister Interrupted, was from Caroline Sharp, right? Great piece that boy, it was a while back, man. It was a while back that we covered that one. November 2023. Yeah, so if you enjoyed Sister Interrupted, I think you'll be down with that. Also, we looked at another good documentary, right? That for James, I believe it was, right? It was called You Have No Idea, directed by Alexander Jeffries. And yeah, this was great, right? Like, so in No Idea, Evan has autism, and his mum Beth, we just see all the things she's doing to help enrich his life and open up so many opportunities for him, right? In Sister Interrupt, we follow Chelsea as she's trying to help her sister Tasmin, who has a form of epilepsy, right? That brings on these really horrible seizures, and like her fight to try and bring medical marijuana, you know, bring more attention to it, bring the legalization of this, because, in the UK, it is very hard to be able to actually have it prescribed by the doctors, right? When, a lot of these medications, they really fuck you up, right? They kind of make you a zombie. It's not fun. So, man, yeah, Sister Interrupted, you have no idea. Tremendous documentaries, and definitely in the vein of Iron Family. So, yeah, I would say, people, if you're a fan of those, you'll watch this. And, all the links are on the webpage for this episode. So, yeah, people, go check that out, right? Enjoy, support the film, support Pat. If you're in Iron River, maybe go check out, the latest season of Yasmin's Double Life play, right? And yeah, this is part 2 of this week's Echo Chamber, but we have got more, right? We got more. So, hey, we'll see you in part 3. And remember, there's part 1 as well, right? So, yeah, people, enjoy. We can have conversations as well on the socials as we do. But thank you for listening.